Tell me, is this real weed or CBD? Tell me, is this real weed or CBD? I smoke weed, so whenever you say it's two different kinds, I say hell no. So don't even ask if I want some of your award-winning shit. If it's not real grass, look, I only came here for Dodie, so no winning me over. You should have said from the jump that you wasn't even holding, but you been holding me up for 30 damn minutes, trying to explain all your breeds and all the damn physics, or how it's just like weed, but this is CBD. And then I said, see, that's why this shit is just not for me. So I'ma go ahead and politely ease up out your dough and head to the south side to get me some real dough. I'm out this hole. Tell me, is this real weed or CBD? Tell me, is this real weed or CBD? Is this real weed or CBD?
All right, man. My name is JOT. This is another very special episode of From Nothing to Everything. We got some very special guests today. I would like to give a special introduction, but more than me giving them an introduction, I'm going to let them explain their story for themselves. So we got Jay Reckless, we got Menace Mike, and we got T Phenomenon. And so I'm gonna let them do the talking. But first off, man, thank y'all for coming all the way to Corpus Christi. Shout out Houston, man. Texas has really been on the move right now. So I love to network with people like y'all who are also super passionate about what you got going on. But just to give a little backstory, how did y'all link up?
Man, before we even go there, man, first and foremost, thanks for having us on here.
Yeah, real
I'm big on giving flowers where flowers are due. Man, we all way out here in Corpus Christi, like you said, y'all, man. And the hospitality y'all showing us, man, they put us up in a good hotel. Man. You know what I mean? Like they showed nothing but love since we've been here. So big shout out to you and your team, bro. For that means a lot. Cause we drove 4 hours. You know what I mean? So that's mad love right there. But to answer your question, man, my name's Jay Reckless with the Reckless Talk Podcast, Reckless Talk Sports Podcast, Reckless Talk Management Promotions, A1 Music Empire, Houston City Beat. We are the storytellers of Houston. T Phenomenon, man. This all started with T, man. You know, I've had my podcast going on 2 years. I interviewed T 2 summers ago, and I love his story, man. He sent me his music. T Phenomenon is Houston's first comedic hip hop artist. Yeah, I just heard the song. Is it weed or CBD? You know what I mean?
It took me a second to catch the bar. When I caught it, I was like, oh.
And I love telling his journey, man, and the journey we've been on together, man, because he sends me his hit single, Big Booty Hunter. You know what I mean? And
apologize.
And
sorry,
but
I'm a comedian rapper.
Actually, he got the Big Booty Hunter t-shirt on too. You know what I mean? But he sends me that song, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, and I'm like, what the fuck? This dude is a genius. You know what I mean? And I get him on the show. It's a hit. A week later, he sends me a video of them playing Big Booty Hunter in the strip club. You know what I mean? And he told me when I first interviewed him, I didn't know T from nothing. You know what I mean? Just another artist and that's trying to make it. And you know, we got a good vibe. You know what I mean? Started booking him for shows and stuff. And he told me, he was like, Jay, within a year, we're gonna blow up. And not even 9 months later, we're on a national tour with Afro Man. You know what I mean? This man puts in work. But like before that, though, even before that, he every day for almost a year, Jay manage me. And I'm like, I'm not a manager. I do podcasts, bro. You know what I mean? And I throw shows and shit. And he was like, but you do everything you do for me and all these other artists is what managers do already. You know what I mean? So me and my wife sat down, we talked about it. It was like, let's do it. You know what I mean? So really, if it wasn't for T bugging me for a year, you know what I mean? Like we wouldn't be sitting here.
So 2-part question. What gave you the confidence to trust and believe in his process? That's going to be the first question. But just to give you the second one, what like gave you the courage to, you know, decide that even though you didn't have the skill set or what you thought to be the skill set?
Nah, you're right. I didn't have the skill set. You know what I mean? Or at least I didn't think I did.
Right.
But my thing is, I've always, since I was a kid, like I knew my calling was to help people. Okay. I never knew how though. You know what I mean? But I've always been wanting to help people my whole life. You know what I mean? And like once I started doing this podcast stuff and got in, because when I started my podcast, it was never supposed to be about music. It was just interviewing people with good stories. You know what I mean? I had Chad Tate on my show. He's the first white male to pledge Alpha at the University of South Florida in 1991. For the people watching, I don't know what Alpha is. Alpha is an all-black fraternity. You know what I mean? So shit like that, you know what I mean? Food challenges, you know what I mean? Authors, you know what I mean? Different things. And then after a while, once I got into the music industry, it just turned into nothing but artists. Like 90% of my things are shows about artists, you know what I mean? But like I said, with me knowing I've always wanted to help people, it's like that's what gave me the courage to be like, let's do this, we got this.
And what gave you the courage to decide like this is the person that you want to, you know, go all in with? For something that you obviously are so passionate about yourself.
Just seeing what he was doing and what he was doing for others and what he did for me, you know, like I said, he one of my mutual friends that introduced us, and I went on his podcast. I went to his house for a podcast, and we clicked, and he put me on one of his shows that he had, and went and did few shows for him, and from then on, it was like, man, he got me booked with some other show, and we went and did that. And that's when I was asking him, I'm like, hey, man, you know, why don't you just go ahead and be my manager? You know, you're already doing everything that a manager does for me. So, you know, like, why don't you just go ahead and do it all the way for me? And like I said, he thought about it for a hot little second. He even told me no. He's like, nah, man, that's not me, man. Like, literally, he turned me down. He's like, nah, man, I ain't. That's not what I do, man. And then he hit me up a few days later. He's like, hey, man, you know, I was giving some thought what you said, man, and you're right. I do a lot for artists and other people in town, and you know, I put a lot of shows on, and I've been getting people this and that, and I don't mind taking you under my wing. And we are today.
And there's a big testament to that alone, because like, you know, there's a lot of people out here that would take advantage of the opportunity to see somebody that, you know, is trying or whatever, but like to be able to be like, no, man, I don't have what I feel like you deserve. You know, that's a testament to his respect for you. So, you know,
and another thing on top of that is not only that, he seen what was inside of me. You know, like he seen my drive and like me willing to, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it's an expensive hobby to have. It's expensive, you know what I'm saying? But you know, really you go buy a flying plane or a race car, or you know, whatever, you go buy a pound of weed or whatever, you know, you still gonna pay for whatever you put in your passion towards. So, you know, I always remember just put money into what you think is gonna give you the money back in the end, and that's what I've been doing. And so.
And that's one thing I love about his hustle. Like I've literally just in the past year and a half, I've seen him spend racks on racks on racks on racks for his career, for his passion. And that's the type of artist I like to work with, whether I manage him or not. I want to work with artists. My thing is, everybody wants to be a local celebrity, local fame, and it's cool. You know what I mean? Like we at that status. You know what I mean? Like we're known in Houston. You know what I mean? Everywhere we go, we're known in Houston. You know what I mean? People see T, yo, Big Booty Hunter, or they start singing "Don't Be a Bitch" about y'all hear that song later on. You know what I mean? And my thing is, it's cool to have local fame, but if you have the talent and the drive and that dedication to take your passion so serious where you could be worldwide, why not take it there?
Yeah, and you also have to understand that if you could go into a local market and take over that small, you know what I'm saying, culture or whatever, that you can multiply, that you can duplicate that with the right team behind you. You know what I mean? So like if you could do something here or captivate the audience in a small city or an up and coming city, then you got to know if you replicate that method in other places and establish a team that can handle those type of obligations that you can. It's rinse and repeat really after you can take over one demographic. But so Menace Mike, how did y'all get linked up? Like how did you and first of all, how did you and Jay Reckless get involved?
With Jay Reckless, met him through another artist that he manages, Bobby Bless.
Big shout out Bobby Bless.
I had been messing with Bobby Bless,
you,
and I'm in the same I feel the same way that Jay does about helping people and helping artists, because I have my own recording studio, and that's like one of the main things that I do is I produce for a lot of people, I write for a lot of people, and I develop artists too. So when they come to me, if they got, kind of rough on their craft or whatever, I help them along and get their songs together. Or they come with like pieces of songs or a little bit of songs. I complete the song. They come with 2 verses, no hook. I'll write the hook, and you might not hear me on none of it.
Right.
But I mean, I do that. So,
right.
And I feel like the same way Jay does. I like to help people, like in that aspect, because in turn, it helps me out too. You know what I mean? It helps me out, helps me develop my craft better, because I'm working on with another artist that's not my style. So you know what I mean? And in turn, that makes me feel like
exactly. And you dive into a new
for me to work my pen and work my production and do another style that ain't necessarily mine. You know what I'm saying? But I take a little bit from everybody, as I want them to take something away from me too. You know what I mean? To better themselves. So. And anyways, I came with Bobby. I was coming around. Jay told me about Jay, and I just started coming around, and I started seeing his drive. I started seeing his hustle, and I started seeing the teamwork.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And me, like I've been by myself for a while, and it's just to a point that you got to realize that you can't do everything by yourself. You know what I'm saying? I can't do everything. So when you say team, like that's a big word.
Shout out
that's
to
a big ass word. Yeah.
Shout out to my
you gotta have a team, you know what I'm saying? So, and I felt like I just fit there. Absolutely. I just felt like I fit here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
and that's how it came about,
Two bosses together can think more than one.
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
If you can multiply that factor times whatever, right. Whatever number.
With the right team.
With
you
the
know
right
what I'm saying?
team.
Yeah.
So
man,
what? Okay.
And with the thing with Mike, man, like he said, we met Mike through Bobby Bless, the lyrical genius. Come on, we manage 8 artists. You know what I mean? My wife is also an artist. She's a poet, erotic poet. You know what I mean? So with Mike, man, like he just started coming around. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even know who he was. I just seen Mike always around. Everything I threw, all the concerts, whatever we got going on, Mike was there. And I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? You know what I mean? like stalker. And then one of the shows, Bobby introduces us. You know what I mean? And tells me everything he got going, like what he just explained and everything, studio, artist, blah, blah, blah. And then we did big shout outs to Tony, man, because really Tony in the background, he was raising his hand. I don't know if he had a question or not. He was over there raising his hand up. But so we did our first artist networking event in San Marcos at Modern Day Hemp Company. Big shout outs to them, man. And it was my company, RECKLESSTALK Management Promotions, and Street Supplies, his company. You know what I mean? We partnered together for that, and he showed up.
Yeah, you were surprised.
He showed up.
He was like, his eyes opened up big.
Like, I only expect one person, and everybody know who I'm talking about. I don't even got to say this person's name, but I only expect one person to show up to every single one of our shows, no matter where we are in Texas. On the count of 3, everybody, who am I talking about? 1, 2, 3. Brett. Big shout out to Brett. Brett is the homie, man. Every show we got, no matter where we at, he shows up. You know what I mean? And he actually showed up to San Marcos that night too. So he's there, and I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, what's going on? Like, I didn't know he was coming. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? And that right there, man, you know what I mean, said a lot. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, cool. He's not a stalker. You know,
right?
And right, yeah, you know what I mean.
Not with the Men in Black.
And then, but what really did it for me? What really did it for me though? That following week, we went back to San Marcos. We was on a radio station. Big shout out to JBB 104.7.
Yeah. Dabber, Matt Dabber.
And mind you, it was a Sunday night. His shows are Sunday nights from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Now we're all coming from Houston. Me, T, my wife. We get there. Who's there? Menace Mike and Chase. And I'm like, all right, this is.
I didn't know they were gonna be there.
Yeah, like we didn't know.
But I was happy to see them.
Here's the thing, though. It wasn't about him being there. He was there for another artist.
Yeah,
he wasn't there to be on the radio. He was there to show love to another artist. Like I don't know if y'all rode together from Houston.
I produced it.
You know what I mean? Too, so. And it's like that just showed me. You know what I mean? Like that reminds me of me. You know what I mean? Because we sacrificed so much. He didn't have to on a Sunday night. Now I know I didn't get home until about 4 or 5 o'clock that Monday morning.
Right.
You know what I mean? From doing this interview. You know what I mean? So that just solidified it for me, man. Because a lot of people come to me and be like, "Yo, Jay, I want to work with you. I want to partner, just do things, blah blah, or manage me." But I got to get to know who you are first.
So speak on that. Let's speak on that. So like, what do you think is the difference, or what do you think is the biggest separator between a person that has talent and drive? I mean, I know it's a combination of, for me, as an owner, as a business owner and a owner of a label myself, I've learned that talent is only one aspect, and it's actually the smaller margin. The drive, the willingness, and the determination to do what's necessary to get your talent and your product.
That always wins. Yeah,
it wins. Trumps it.
All right, so I'm gonna answer that question with a question.
Yes.
How many super talented artists you know that no one ever heard of them?
Way too many.
Because there's no drive there. You know what I mean? A lot of artists. And I say this all the time, man. There's so many artists out there that should have that worldwide name, but don't, because there's so many talented artists. You know what I mean? Especially in Houston. You know what I mean? It's overflowing with talent. You know what I mean? So if you're not different, if you're not unique, you're just gonna fall in the melting pot with everyone else. Right. You gotta stand out. You gotta know how to market. You gotta know how to promote. You know what I mean? I tell artists all the time, every show is not a good show. Right. Just because it's little flip, that don't mean you need to take it. What are you getting out of spending $500? And I'm not talking about Flip is my guy. Flip is my guy 100%.
This is just promotion in general.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And marketing yourself. Yeah. You're spending $400-$500 on a 10-minute spot. What are you getting out of it besides opening up for this big artist? What is that doing for your career? Especially after you done opened for him 5-6 times. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I got another side of that too, though. Like, obviously, I that perspective too, but there's another perspective too as an artist too, because there's along my journey too of me, making music and all this shit. There has been other people that were better than me. You know what I mean? They were always better than me, and I remember in the beginning I used to find myself going behind them, because of course they were better. So thinking about this come up after him or with him or let him lead the way, but there wasn't no drive. He didn't have no drive. He had talent, and he used that talent to push around him and not worry about anything that we were doing or even himself. You know what I'm saying? Even himself. So that's one thing that I figured out in the game too, is that I had more drive than they did, even though they were more talented than I was, But I had more drive, more determination than they did. That's why I'm still here, and none of them are doing anything. You know what I'm saying? None of them, dog. I promise you, none of them.
Yeah, that's facts, bro. Because
and I know y'all see me now.
Yeah. And then with these two artists, so we talk about uniqueness, right? I told T from day one, you will never fit in with any concert you perform at because you're a comedic hip hop artist. We call him the Afro Man of today, and we're gonna get into Afro Man later on, right? But so the type of music you do, regardless what concert you get booked for, you're not gonna fit in, but you're gonna stand out because you're different and you're unique. With T's music, it's two ways. You're gonna love him or you're gonna hate him. There's no in between. You know what I mean? He's gonna make you laugh. He's gonna make you laugh. You might pee on yourself. You might cry. You know what I mean? Like that's the same, but it's all about positive shit. Right. You know what I mean? Storytelling. With Menace Mike, he's an old school boom bap artist, a boom bap artist in the South at that.
New York,
you know what I mean? Some lyrical shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so when you
It's different.
are different and unique and in a different diagram compared to the same artist talking about the same thing. Let's not even get on every single track you talking about your city.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because man,
Or how many heads you busted and you ain't never bust one.
Real.
You ain't
let's
bust one
not
head,
even
but
get on that.
You don't bust
How many
every track. You don't
sneaky
bust 50
beats you
motherfuckers on there. Like, come on.
How many
people
times
you
can you
fucking over,
reiterate the same message?
How many times could you shoot up some people or you ain't never been to jail?
Yeah,
damn.
all these bodies ain't never.
There should be another. There should be another
Not
category
one.
with some
Not
fantasy rap. I
Like-
think fantasy rap should be a
And
category.
it should
You
be
know what I'm
okay to be
saying?
called that.
It should be called gangster rap. It should be
not
called
real.
fantasy rap. You know what I'm
That would
saying?
keep a lot of people out of jail too. because
Right.
Yeah.
They are thinking that these
And I
motherfuckers
would
are
respect
really
it though. I would respect it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
watch gangster movies and I
Exactly.
love them.
Right.
You know what I'm
What-
saying?
what-
Doughboy, he ain't really Doughboy ain't did what Doughboy did, but
Right.
I love that movie. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't mind be a fantasy gangster category. I would love it too. I would jam it too.
Yo, what M say?
Right?
What
And-
M- what
but I
M
can have another respect for it. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't really kill.
What M say, man? His name is Clarence, and Clarence's parents got a really good marriage.
Perfect. That's what I'm saying right there. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I could respect that, you know, and I would jam it. Yeah, you're not out the game. You're not out the game. But let me go watch. It's just like you flip through categories of movies. I'm gonna watch a comedy today. I'm gonna watch some gangster. I'm gonna watch a shit. I'm gonna watch a drama. I'm gonna listen to some fucking fantasy rap.
Right.
Let me see who go shoot him up. Let me see how you shot him up. You know what I'm saying? Or you got the chainsaw out too. Like damn, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to hear that too. You know, it's just if you love music, you're gonna love it all.
So, what gives you the courage to like face that adversity of being so unique in like a market that's so easy to scrutinize or like ridicule or say like or compare all the comparisons that go along with hip hop artists need to be some type of way or have the street type of politics or whatever the case may be. Like, what gives you the audacity, the nerves, the braveness to be like, "Ah, fuck all that. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be funny, and that's it."
The smiles on people's faces when I get on stage. And that was the reason why I started creating the music that I do, because if you listen to 90% of the music nowadays, there's not nothing positive. There's not nothing to make you happy nowadays. If you listen to the music back in the day, you turn the music on, you want to get with your family, go have a picnic, slap some bones, make barbecue, want to do fun shit. You turn the music on nowadays, I don't want to do nothing fun. I want to go rob some nigga and fucking, you know what I'm saying, go hit somebody's baby mama up, say, man, your nigga there, hey, no, okay, well, let me come through and, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I started making my music to put smiles on people's faces again, because we don't have enough of that no more. And I want to bring smiles back. You know, it don't hurt to make your neighbor or somebody you don't know smile.
Right.
Because you never know what kind of day they going through. So, you know, bring some happiness back in the world. You know, we don't have happiness no more.
Yeah, that's I have a philosophy too, and I'm sure y'all probably would agree. Like, there's multiple forms of currency, man. Like, a lot of people get gravitated towards this dollar value of everything, but like love, passion, loyalty, bringing smiles to people,
Respect.
like, respect.
Yeah.
You know, being
And nowadays, those are all looked at as weak.
yeah.
So just because you have love for another person or another human being or a bird or an animal or whatever it may be, just because you have love or you show compassion, that don't mean you weak. That actually means you're stronger than most people, because most people are afraid to admit that they love.
Yeah, that they feel the same way.
Yeah.
They just can't verbalize it because of scrutiny.
Man, talking about loyalty, man.
Speak on this.
Like, what? Man, there was the last year. I'm not gonna say the person's name. I ain't gonna do him.
Hold
like
on,
that.
Before you say this, we in this podcast, it's pretty much the whole time it's a game called Truth or Drink. So you know, what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
we gonna start now, since you know. So who is the person that you talking about? And if not, you don't have to answer.
You
it,
dirty.
We
You
gonna-
dirty.
You don't have to answer.
You know what?
I'm
I'm
Yes,
just.
you gonna go ahead and take it.
I'm gonna
I'll
take one
take
with
one.
you every
Where's
single
yours?
time.
That's mine
Yeah,
right
this
there?
is yours, brother.
Okay.
Here's mine. So,
Yeah, you know what I'm
salute.
saying. He said healthy.
Hold on, I already took mine. Yeah, I'll cheers with y'all.
Wow.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
that's
salute.
fucking nasty.
Salute.
I'm snitching on everybody. Fuck that. Fuck
He
that.
said, he said,
No. You can't you can't look at that as a bad thing because maybe that motherfucker don't know.
Maybe
He
it's
don't
not-
know. He don't know. Maybe he don't know that he's doing something wrong. Sometimes you gotta call
No,
him out.
he
That's
know.
good.
He know. He know.
Help him
Well,
out.
he gotta know
the
that we know.
conversation. We had the conversation.
You gotta know that we know too. Then
So
Fuck 'em.
he said,
But-
fuck.
but
So basically, what
we
I
ain't
was
gonna call
getting at,
nobody out. though.
yeah,
We gonna
you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah,
we
you got
positive. We positive.
man, fuck him. You know what I mean? But you're right, but we gotta keep it positive.
Tell me later then. Tell me later.
Yeah, I got you. So you know what I mean. So it was last year. This month last year, he was opening up at Scout Bar. I forget who was it for.
Oh, I know who he. No,
What was I don't know.
I seen that show.
It was one of the Houston legends. He was over. I forget who it was.
Oh, shit.
And T comes to me and was like, "Yo, Jay, man, such and such, invited me to go to South by with him and his team, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "That's cool." And I wasn't his manager either. I wasn't even his manager at the time. You know what I mean? And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." You know what I mean? Go ahead. He's like, "You want to go?" I'm like, "No, I don't fuck with them no more." And I told him what happened, and he was like, "All right, that's cool. I ain't fucking with them either." You know what I mean? Like I said, that just showed. You know what I mean? 'Cause like I said, we was kicking it, my boy. You know what I mean? So for him to show his loyalty like that meant a lot. You know what I mean? Because we've dealt with in this
That's
business.
old school though. That's old
Yeah,
school.
facts.
Yeah, that's the way it used to be. Like, I mean, we didn't have all this shit. You know what I'm saying? To be calling motherfuckers out, calling their name. You did this. Oh boy, did this to me like that. Everybody was like, "Hey, he passed it on."
Yeah.
To everybody, it was tight.
Direct.
Everybody was real. There was 100. It got passed around. You got passed around. That way, everybody treat you a certain way. I like, nah, I ain't, or I ain't going. I can't go with you. Or I can't do this with you. Like everybody's gonna do it because everybody already knows. Just nobody ever said nothing, but everybody knew, and then you're gonna know. You're just gonna stop coming around. That's how you get shunned out. You know, people just stop fucking with you.
You get treated accordingly.
Now it's different. Of course, they can call your name out now. But I seen motherfuckers recover from that now through the internet at the same time. So it's a weird thing, you
That's
know.
because the internet is so instantaneous.
Yeah,
Like, whatever's
yeah.
in the moment,
Yeah.
like it's just gonna happen that moment.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then tomorrow you'll forget about it.
We don't
Nobody's
live.
talking about
But
Trump
that
getting
sucks
shot in the
though,
ear.
right? You don't think
Right.
that sucks though? That sucks. That a lot of people, foul motherfuckers, get away with shit that quick, and they didn't used to be like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You had to really redeem yourself, and there kind of wasn't ever no coming back from it. You know, sometimes depending on what you did, you know. But I mean, you could, and with a certain crowd, you could come back a little bit. I'm talking about hood things, you know, like in your hood, you could do little things, and you could come back, but you ain't gonna come back all the way like you started.
Right.
You
People are
know.
gonna have a sour taste in their
Yeah,
mouth.
you kind of like they ain't gonna people ain't gonna fuck with you, you know. And that's
Somebody
just the way it
told them,
is.
don't beat you.
Yeah,
Somebody just
yeah.
told them.
And you are, and you know not to come around.
Right.
So it ain't like we got to do you a certain type of way. We just know you don't come around here. Just like I'm sure old boy knows he ain't gonna come around Jay Reckless or nobody he messes with. Like he probably knows that already.
Yeah, son.
And you know who you are, son. Nah, but so let's get back to Houston, man. Are y'all all from Houston?
Yeah.
Houston, bro? Everybody?
I'm originally from New York.
New York? Damn, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I'm from up north too.
Oh, you said Wisconsin, man.
shit.
Big shout out to my guy Reed, man. He's a big time promoter out there, man.
Yeah,
Big shout out to Reed.
Link me up because my brother Jay,
Definitely.
he's got a company that I'm involved with, and we're trying to get some shit going on over in Milwaukee. So we're looking to link up with all the promoters we can, with all the venues, with all the promotional aspects that we can, so we can put on something major. But
I definitely would call for sure.
what's a two-part question? What's one of the biggest takeaways you have learned from growing up in Houston? And then what's some of the things that you would like to change in Houston for the better of Houston as a whole, like as a collective? So let's start with the good news, and then we'll get to
That question for y'all, because I'm not from you.
For me, like what you said, what the biggest lesson was.
So what's the biggest positives you've taken from growing up in Houston? We'll just start with that question.
The biggest positive is that I had OGs to tell me, you know what I'm saying, how to move around in the street, how to play in the street. I call it playing because it's all a game, you know what I'm saying? So I think the biggest positive is learning that early on. And a lot of people don't have that, you know what I'm saying? So I learned what not to do, what to stay away from, who to stay away from, like we was talking earlier,
Right, for sure.
you know what I'm saying? Because you hear that through it goes through the neighborhood. Like it's like a wildfire, you know what I'm saying? And
especially when you got a little bit of a name to yourself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And
And that's how I made a name for myself in my hood, was because of always being solid, you know what I mean? But I had the older homeboys that tell me that, you know, and it wasn't even street cats. I ain't gonna make it a street thing. It was just older guys, you know, older men telling me how to be a man, you know what I'm saying? Telling me what to do, what not to do. And it's not necessarily gang members or street guys or anything like that. It's just regular men.
So how do you feel about the terminology of the game is to be sold, not to be told?
I don't know, man. I guess it depends on what it is, though. I guess it depends on what it is. You know what I mean?
Man, I feel like that, like, we can even get into like school, like why, like from that to the street politics, like just like I've never understood the language of if you don't have some type of money in your pocket or sometimes you don't deserve this knowledge to get better or grow or learn. Even if I know it, I'm gonna hold it back from you because you don't have what I'm looking for in return.
You know what? I do hold back shit myself. I do hold back game. I'm not gonna lie, I do. You know.
And what's the reason?
The reason why is because it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. You can tell. Sometimes you talk to people and you tell people, you give them game, it goes one in the ear, out the other.
But at least
so game is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like.
No, I feel like game is for everybody, and then it's for the ones that pick and choose how to use it correctly to actually implement it into their life. But
I'm not one to waste my words, though. I'm not gonna waste my time either on nobody.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? If I've got a youngster that's listening and learning and picking up, soaking up, then that's the one I'm gonna talk to. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna leave it up to him to go around and spread it out to whoever else he thinks is gonna listen. You know what I'm saying? It might be him and his brother ain't hearing shit I'm saying, but I'm gonna give it to the one brother, and then maybe later on it'll soak in. But I can't spend my time trying to please everybody, trying to talk to this motherfucker and just going in one ear out the other, and he gonna do what he does anyway. I ain't wasting my time.
Pick me, pick me. Nah, you heard the attention though.
You're New York
on the pool. So like, I feel both sides. Like, man, everyone sitting here can tell you, especially my wife, man, like when I first got in the industry, man, like I put so many people on. Like just in the past almost 2 years, I put over 150 artists on stage. You know what I mean? And I say probably about 20-30% of them first timers. You know what I mean? And we used to do radio interviews, man. When I say we in that bitch, the one time we had a live fucking performance in the radio. We had like 20-30 people in there. You know what I mean? Like my thing, I want it because it's not about me. It's never been about me. It's always about helping these artists and getting their name out there and helping them to that next level. So in saying that, I've been fucked over so many times.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, man, we can get this could be an turn into another take a shot.
I'll drink to that. I'm gonna drink to that.
Because it turned like
hold on.
So it's like I'm to a point. I'm to a point. I'm to a point in my career, whether it's the podcast, the managing, the promoting, the hosting. I'm not just about to just put anybody on the game no more because I've been burned.
I feel
you know what I mean?
I feel that.
It's like I gotta like, man, I had an artist. My thing is, I never if I meet an artist, I'm not putting you on the show right away. I need to get to know who you are. I need to study you. I need to check the music out. I need to know who you are on a outside of an artist level. You know what I mean? Who you are? Who are you as a human being? It's saying that I met an artist the other week. You know what I mean? The way he got presented to me, the way, you know what I mean, he was spoke upon, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I have a show for you tomorrow night. Shut up. Hold up, wait. I have a show for you. Hold up. This is truth or tomorrow night. You know what I mean? Nah, I have a show for you tomorrow night. And it's like, for you to come at, like, he agrees to it, boom, the day of the show comes. And basically, it's like, if I'm putting you on, don't demand shit. And that's basically what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Don't demand shit. when I'm putting you on, when I don't have to, I don't know you. I'm putting you on from my source, from what I was told about you. I don't know who you are. I've never put an artist on a show the day after, less than 24 hours after I met him.
Right.
And I did this. You know what I mean? So it's like that goes back to my, you can't just put anybody on game.
Nah, that's a new
put anybody on.
Well, hold on. I contrary to that, because you can demand, but it's the way you demand it. If you ask and have the right how you say portfolio, there you go. That word right there. If you have that right thing, then maybe you can get put where you would like to be. But so far as just coming and saying with words and like you hear the track. Of course, the track sounds good, but track is different than seeing it in person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you just have to format it a different way.
But yeah, I was about to say, because there's a difference between demanding and asking. You know what I mean? You outright demanding me. I'm like, or requesting. You know what I mean? Like,
don't pop out and be asked.
But even through all that, for me, like the only way I've been able to move forward, anyways, is because I don't let that discourage me. Yeah. No matter how many times, like Jay, I've been fucked over a lot of times too, because of the drive I have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The drive, I keep moving forward. I always got shit. I always spend all my money. I'm like, I used to be spending my last dollars on whatever I needed. You know what I'm saying? So I never really let that discourage me either. You know what I mean? Discourage me how many times? Because there's going to be people in your life that are going to fuck you over, just not even on this music thing, just on some business shit, on your business. It's just going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You take chances on people and you have to, because we really don't know
and what's the alternative? Being alone. Like,
or you're not getting anywhere. Like, because like I said earlier, you need a team. You know what I'm saying? Somebody told me, I ain't going to say who told me, but somebody told me, somebody told me they were mad because I signed with Jay. They were mad because I signed with Jay. They were mad. Like, oh man, like, damn, hey, you on homeboy, just trying to look out for himself. Like, they told me all kinds of negative shit about him. But if I was that type of person that I'm gonna go on that, and that's my homeboy.
Right.
That's my homeboy.
Easily just take his word.
I could just be like, yeah, you right, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be fucking with him. I wouldn't be right here. But I can't. I don't do that because he hasn't seen what I seen. He ain't seen what I seen in Jay. He think what I just coming around just to come around. Like, nah, just like he said, he peeping me out. I'm peeping him out too. We peeping each other out. I'm peeping everybody out. See everybody, because I want to know, you know. And I felt comfortable. He made me feel comfortable. I just felt like this is like the right day. If he wanted to be on, then I'm gonna say yes. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just that simple for me because I seen that, so I came. And then like I told my homeboy, I'm like, hey man, like, oh, you don't trust or what? That I'm making a fucked up decision or what? Right, you think now I'm a sucker or something? Like what are you trying to say about me? And you my homeboy, you know what I'm saying? You're not trusting my decisions of what I know and what I seen and that I talked to him and we chopped it up and like, so kind of type shit. Maybe that's what it, maybe that's what it is. Maybe because it ain't him. I don't know. But I didn't like that. You know what I mean? I really didn't like that, man. So, so even through, all the shit that we said, that it's never stopped my love to have love for somebody else. Right. Or to not trust in somebody else or trust in the next person that comes in my life or that I'm around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I'm relating to y'all gentlemen so much by your answers to these fucking questions because like that is literally the story of my life, man. But we'll get into that when I'm
Can I backdoor to what he said? Of course. I don't know who he's talking about. I don't care. You know what I mean? Because it's not about to stop me.
I do. Who is it?
But here's my thing. I get a lot of hate in our city. You know what I mean? I get a lot of people come to me. You know what I mean? I know it. You know what I mean? And here's my thing. I know why. Because I'm stirring up some shit in Houston. Right. And I know I am. And I'm proud of that. Yeah. You got a nigga from New York that puts on for Houston more than 90% of these motherfuckers out there. Mm-hmm. I got a movement going. That's why I get hate. I got a motherfucking movement and I love it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Exactly.
Well, now your hate's my hate.
Keep
it's
it
T's
coming.
hate. We all
Now
go,
it's
we all
mine.
gonna
See,
get it.
We got a motherfucking movement.
Same, bro. Same. Like, same. Very similar, man. I came from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Me and my family, the family you see right here, we were homeless. You know what I'm saying? We lived in Red Roof fucking a couple years ago. And, you know, with just a little bit of perseverance behind my craft, my dedication, and what I knew I always was meant to do, but I just always had some fucking fear, which is
that's gonna
which
be
is
there.
a cancer to it's literally like a cancer.
It is, yeah.
And but ever since I put my grind, my passion into building the right team, first and foremost, building the right team around me so that the visions could come to fruition the right way. I mean, this shit just it's happening real time right before my very eyes, and you know, faster than I can catch up to like who I am, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And
We missed.
I didn't know
we missed.
I didn't know which hell was coming first. No, real shit, man. This is a game-giving podcast, bro. I appreciate what y'all are saying because these are some of the things that artists don't really get to like learn about the process of getting into the business or the downsides or just the
trials and tribulations.
The trials and errors. They think it's just like one day if I just keep throwing this shit on YouTube, somebody's gonna come and give me $10 million and then boom, I'm set for life.
The thing is, you can't give up on yourself, man. That's the thing. You got to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
And so, what would you say are some of the off of the music? I mean, I don't know exactly. Well, we're going to talk about some other ventures that y'all got, but what are some of the biggest upsides and downsides of being your own boss, your own entrepreneur, creating your own situation where you're not reliant upon anybody to make it for you?
I'm gonna say 24/7. 24/7.
Yeah.
Talk about the grind.
Literally working, grinding 24/7.
And you can't blame nobody but you.
And there'd be times where it'd be like, man, it's fuck, but this is what I want. You know what I mean? This is the life I want. I love it. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, we don't just have a management company. We have a media company. We run a podcast. We host concerts, festivals, comedy shows, magic shows, wedding parties. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, you know what I mean? It's constant. We got something going 7 days a week. You know what I mean? So
this is a beautiful networking situation, you know, just on some personal shit, you know what I mean? Just to get off the, you know, answering the question. I just want to tell you, like, me and you and y'all's team and what y'all got going on, it absolutely connects and falls in line with what we're doing down here. So that any way that we can brand each other's, you know, production, promotion, any shows you got going on, I'll be happy to help in any type of way, getting the Corpus market, getting the Austin market tapped in. I got my brother from Austin here, you know what I mean? So like any way that we can just merge and cross promote, I'm more than happy. I'm more than honored to have like-minded people that are serious and that have actually walked through the journey of knowing what this life entails and still stay solid, you know, because it's easy to be handed something, but it's a lot harder to build it from the ground up and not give up on it before the blessing comes. You know what I'm saying? My son said it best. He said, you might be digging for a diamond and you dig 200 feet in the ground looking for this goddamn diamond and then stop because how tiring it is. But the diamond is 1 inch away.
Yeah, but you stopped.
Yeah. And you never know unless you really persevere in it. And that comes through absolute confidence in yourself.
Yeah,
right.
And that's another thing. I'm glad you just said that, man. I like your son that he said that because there'll be days where it's like fuck, you know what I mean. But it's like I know I can't stop. Like we manage 8 artists, you know what I mean. Like not saying they depend on us, but they depend on us to do our job and to, you know what I mean, help their career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So it's like. I have a huge following on my podcast. You know what I mean? Like we do 40 shows a month. You know what I mean? We're live damn near every day except Saturday and Sundays.
And can we plug that real quick? What's the name of your podcast?
The Reckless Talk Podcast. That's THA Reckless Talk Podcast. It's Reckless with an R. Okay. You can just get it on YouTube, YouTube Music, HoustonCityBeat.com, and Facebook.
But yeah, like he said, like I do depend on him. You know, I think that's another reason why we linked up, and you gotta depend on me to come through for everything else. You know what I'm saying? For how he needs me, hey, might be here, that. Okay, and I gotta come through with the music. Me and T. You know what I'm saying? We gotta come through with good music. We can't just be this. We got Jay. We let Jay do everything. We just do whatever. Nah, it ain't like that. We all gotta pull our weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, and part of it is having the right songs. You know what I'm saying? Right jams and keep working. You know,
content.
Yeah,
that's a whole other topic.
That's
a whole other topic. Like you said, a lot of artists they get managers and think that grind they put in before they had their manager, it just stops.
Yeah, and it don't.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna find you shows, we're gonna do this, we're gonna put you in positions, interviews, this and that. But while we doing that, you do the same thing because that's what you was doing before. Right. And when you find these interviews and concerts and things, or whatever it is, you come to us and we book them for you. You know what I mean? But don't just sit back and do nothing now.
Yeah, but that happened to me. I told Jay. I told Jay that I had artists under me too. You know what I'm saying? So I know that side of it too. I had artists under me, like, and expected me to do everything. You know, I'd come to my house like, "Where's the beer? Where's the liquor?" Like, you're the manager. You run us. We're under you. Like, what? Like, I got to do everything. And I got to push your music too. Like, I'm pushing your music harder than you're pushing your own music. Like, nah, hell nah. You got to work harder than I am on your shit. Because I got to work on mine. Yeah, I'm given the opportunity to be there and go under my name. Yeah, and they want me to push harder than them. Nah, it don't work like that.
Also, as an artist,
it's
not get mad if you're not on every show with all the other artists. Because let's talk about this 10 times that you may be on, and some shows that you're not on. So you can't get upset that you missed out on some shows, because there will be some shows that
there's other things you could do.
They won't be on. So you know what I'm saying?
Are you really about the team? Are you really? This is when you find out people's true intentions. If people can't be proud of the team's success because they're not involved with that specific moment, although they're fully aware that they're part of this team, that's when you got to start.
Well, just like that second show you had. I didn't know I was going to be on the second show, remember? Mm-hmm. I didn't know I was going to be on the second show you had. But
and like T said, you're not going to be put on every one. But even if you're not put on that show, still show up to network.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What? Still show up to
network. That's what I was about to say. Repost that shit.
You know what I mean? People, right? Like, show up to network and show love.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. But that second show that I didn't know was gonna be on, he told me like literally the night before. But I was still gonna be there anyway, even if I wasn't on it. I didn't know I was gonna be on it. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was gonna show up anyway. I don't care. Like I'm gonna support him either way. Or T has a show, whatever. I'm gonna go support him, even if I'm not on it. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I can still speak for the team anyway.
Talking about T having a show, shit, he got a show Saturday with Zero. You know what I mean? Like, we all about to pull up to that.
Shout out Zero, my dog. I fuck with you, boy.
Zero.
Yeah, I did a show with him too over at La Katrina. Shout out, bro. He's a
and this show just shows.
And shout out to you, Mr. Yogi, put me on. Happy birthday.
Yep. And that's what I was about to say. This is Big Yogi's birthday. Big shout out Yogi, man. Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday.
This is his birthday show. You know what I mean? He's like the promoter in Houston. You know what I mean? He's known for doing all the big name artists. So Yogi sees the work that T puts in. Basically, what I'm getting at, this is an invite only for artists to perform. You know what I mean? He got invited to perform at this. You know what I mean? So that it just shows the hard work that he puts in. Like I said, everybody know T the big booty hunter. You know what I mean?
Big booty hunter.
Well, hopefully after this podcast, you know what I'm saying, we'll get to politics and I'll show you some of what we've been working on as Overtime Entertainment as a collective over here in Corpus, man. I honestly feel like we have a movement, and it's much deeper than any kind of genre. I mean, I deal with some of the most talented instrumentalists, DJs, producers. My brother Adrian right there, videographers, Tony. I got a group of people that stand beside this movement that came from the fucking figment of my imagination, but now it's become our movement, and this is about all of us and our families. So, man, it's just an honor to see other people out there that have that share that same mindset, because it's hard to fucking find. So again, I'm just grateful to get into the mind, and that's what this podcast is about more than anything. Like, I know we can sit here and plug.
Right.
We good?
Yeah, the screen fucking up.
On that note,